Strife struck at the heart of Vendetta on Vendetta's map. Pick a Mirage, a 16-10 victory. Pretty smooth overall. Just a bit of a stumble in the middle. Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the call. Vendetta, they're the ones of the CT side. And they're going to try and hold off and take us to a third and final map, which would be Inferno. The best map for deciders. Hey, it's where North America won its first and only major in this game of Go. Consti mollied out of position, gets burned alive, but Silas at the very least going to get one. Chop back, Silos, dual Berettas, only able to get that first and single kill. Not good enough with those dual elites. Tender trying to make his way back down towards the site as Infinite slipped the gap and gone down vents. Stamina caught on the backstab as he caught 60 out in the meantime. 2v2, Infinite up the vents. He's got the kill. He's got the spot. He got to get the shots. Oh, he hasn't. Tender still alive. Silas helping out, but Infinite finally comes up with it. Silas, what can he do? He does not have a kit. He's got to fight. And fight as he might, he dies.
That was an awkward one across the board. The player coming up the vents kind of panicked. He saw he was trying to line up the headshot, and then he saw the player heavy. He's like, oh, I've been spotted. I've been made. I got to take a shot, at least do some damage. And it does fortunately work out in Strife's favor. Stamina, the one lining up the utility for the take. The double dually setup also was very scary for the T side, but they mitigate any potential losses, only losing a single player to the dualies. That was on the A side proper. All around, a solid start as you would expect for Strife. It is their map pick after all. They have 3 rifles, 2 Mac-10s, and no qualms about their play in this round. It's straight towards ramp. Tender's here with the MP9. He does lots of chip damage, but no kills. Chop now towards elbow. The next potentially at bat is instead mollied away. Strife continue their tear down the ramp. The issue is Tender's ready to put them to death by 1,000 cuts, finding one nearly a second. Stamina trades. The Deagle of Sigsy, though, is not much more successful. It gets chopped down as well by Stamina. Having a heck of a round for himself. 4 versus 3, make that a 4 versus 2 as Chop is taken out of the round. And oh, it's looking like another Strife round here and now. Deagle of Silas does some good damage, does actually secure the kill as well. Maybe some resistance being offered. Stamina and Infinite are quite low, so this is doable for Silas and Consti. The issue is Consti has the scout and time, yes, an ever-present factor in the post plant. That forces Silas to reconsider and go for the save instead. It's going to be a second for Strife, but Vendetta do at least find a bit of damage.
A little bit of damage, and they'll get another kill for their troubles. Make it 2. Only Joel's going to be able to survive. That's a lot of damage, but the only thing is it's not even close to a win. And now Strife can buy up again. They will have to. But
Only
Vendetta
a Mac-10.
will only have that Deagle and the Scout.
They only saved the Mac-10. That's a near full
necessarily
reinvestment.
Intentional.
He just stayed alive on site.
Yeah.
Just sat in the corner. Looks like they'll buy around it. Infinite, what is he going to go for? A Galil? Or, there we go, it's a Galil. Galil, AK, 3 Mac-10s. Now, the Mac-10s do make sense. No one has head armor on Vendetta.
But they've got 4 vests. This is still doable for Vendetta.
It's a very scary prospect, especially with constantly hitting shots as he is. He got 2 body shots there in that last round prior, finishing off what his teammates started. 2 body shots early on in this half could be, or not this half, excuse me, this round could be incredibly consequential. It could bring them within punching distance of those pistols.
Chop playing the headshotting on the stairs. Silas around the corner in the vents, waiting to pop out and deal some damage. Push coming through. Chop's the early warning. Silas is the man to swing out and get the trades or the bait and switch. Chop spots the first. Silas out, but Stamina deals with him. Saves Aris, who's very low on health, and they know where Chop is now because of his earlier peeking. Bomb will go down on the B side momentarily as the rotations down the vents are down the ramp rather are going to take a bit of time. Tender peeking through. Chop aggressing. Infinite still alive. Stamina tagged and finished off by a spam from Tender. The bomb still has not gone down yet. Strife have taken too long. There's an opportunity here around the corner. Infinite finishes the job. In comes 6E, 1 and 2. Looking for the 30 as to reload. Mowed down by Joel's. Danger still for Strife. The bomb up towards A, it appears. And it will be going down safely as Aris will back up and support that bomb plant, making sure nobody gets caught off for free. But another costly round, and this is still winnable for Vendetta. They've got Nuke in the hands of Tender now, and he could get the drop on Aris.
Could, but the knife in hand makes me think he's inclined to save. Might even find the exit. There we go. Kill there. Now he'll go for it. Whereas before he might have called the save, now he might at least attempt something. Time though becoming a factor, and there's no kit. So he has to find the kill and quickly. Joel's, I think he heard the ladder. He'll just tuck in towards the hut and play time. That is the smart call. Ender racing around, is hoping to find something. He'll tap, he'll stick. Is Joel's going to call him out, or is he going to let him stick? Joel's will finally jump out. He knows there's no kit. There we go. Playing time as he should. Gets the kill, gets the AK. It's something more than what was brought into the round prior, but it's not a lot. Just a single AK being saved. It was a half buy for Vendetta, doing so much damage. Strife, though, they'll be able to reinvest, but they won't have the T-side economy you might expect from a 3-0 lead.
It's a pretty brutal T-set economy, and Infinite's going to be stuck on a deagle. Consti's got the op. Rifles are on the board for Vendetta, but Nate, there is a problem. Vendetta do not have the $400 defuse kit, and they've already let Aris down the vents as well. He's already clearing the B site. Chops down to low HP, one-shot territory. No real rotations to defend against Aris as well. Joel's trades out stamina. We're into a 4v4, but that position of Aris is so deadly, so dangerous to Vendetta. They don't have a clue. They don't expect the 6C around the corner. He gets the bomb, but Snakes trades him out. Aris molly in towards J-Hall and Hell. Tender up top. Dropping down. 3v3 as the bomb shall be planted soon. Already one down the vents. Aris tucking into the cubby by double doors. Molotov might be smoke, but Silas thinks better of it. Now he'll go forward, now he'll go through. Snakes gets caught, and Aris' spray doesn't connect, but Joel's into a level 2v2 once again. Close and very, very close in terms of score. Aris. He's stuck. So many different angles. Consti and Tender, they know they don't have a kit. They might just bail. And at this point, they probably should.
I'm going to go for it. The door is closed, though. I think that really does seal their fate. No kit. Comes back to bite them, comes back to haunt them even, as Strife get their fourth. Again, it's lots of damage done to both sides, but in the end, it's going to be 2 surviving for each. Aris and Joel's, Tender and Consti. The op still in play for Vendetta, sure, but Strife looking incredibly solid thus far on the T side of Nuke.
Very messy start for Strife. You could say it's messy for Vendetta, but they've been doing damage, just unable to come up with the actual kills to win the round. Strife, they've been knocking on the door, winning the rounds, but they've been losing so many players in the process. Their economy is still in a terrible spot. Now Stakes is going to get picked off by the op of Consti. A terrible start. Infinite stuck trying to get down the vents. He's going to go forward and through into 6C. Lose that fight. Aris trades, but chops back Silo. Joel's returns it. 3v2, 3v1 as Consti strikes from heaven, but he drops right down the ladder. Eats that fall damage, but he's done the job. Joel's in a 1v3. Silas coming in back through lobby. 2 players in towards Mini. Tender, one of those. Silas playing around the squeaky door. Bait and switch. Trade potential. Consti with the trade. And Vendetta finally get around the board. And when you look at the money on Strife, it's kind of a joke. They won 4 in a row. They've got nothing.
But they had 1 player surviving for 2 of them and only 2 surviving the round prior. That does not build a T-side economy. It does not build any economy, in fact. And the lack of the bomb plant really does hurt them. It really does become a huge consequence in this one. Not the lost bonus to bail them out either. It is dire straits. They will invest as best they can. It's a pair of Tech 9s, a pair of Mac 10s, and an AK. The Mac 10s are probably a read into the fact that these players are lacking helmets. 3 of them are. 6C, Tender, and Consti. But that won't stop Consti. He finds 1 6C a second before Aris can trade him out. They are on A site, sure, but the bomb is yet to go down, and they don't really have much space, much breathing room to speak of either. Aris, entering out, does find a pair. Goes for the fake. It's actually going to be a play down the vent instead. Both players now with rifles in hand. Still have 3 to worry about. Consti, Tender, Silas. Smoke down on the site. Aris will go for the plant. Actually out of the smoke. Yeah, that's scary. But no one's quick enough to punish it. Looks like all 3 players are coming in the ramp. This is going to be a chaotic and hectic one. If Strife played together, they might just come out ahead.
And it looks like Snake and Aris want to play this together. They don't want to separate. They're playing the buddy system here. Molly in towards the cubby. Boxes are cleared. Aris playing up towards control. There's a smoke here, but I believe the window... Oh, he breaks the windows. That's going to telegraph his position. But Aris is there. He's got the A1S. He can spray. He can trace. He knows he's got the bomb diffuser. Tender's on it. Snakes with the next. And now it's all up to Consti. He's in a dangerous spot. No scope, sure, but he's out of time. Snakes will go down with the ship here. Oh, never mind. He gets out of there. He gets behind the wall. The bomb radiuses on Nuke are one of the most bizarre things in the world. Or at least in the game of Counter-Strike.
Doors right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the bomb
doors. Close the blast doors.
I don't understand the bomb radius whatsoever on this map. That's a nice little flashy no-scope from Consti, but what really does steal the round, what is really important there, is the spams. The first one from the M4, absolutely flawless. As you mentioned, there's no punishment for that. There's no tracers coming through it. Second from the AK, though, is perfectly placed. I'm very surprised that connected. I'm very surprised on the read coming in. I believe it's from Drolls with the AK. A massive spam and a massive victory. It isolates Vendetta's one-round victory. It resets the CT economy. And it leads them to a very desperate timeout and a desperate, I was going to say half investment. It's kind of all over the place. They have 3 Deagles. Tender's full saving. CS for the moment. And Chop has an A1S in hand. Strife, not much better either. An MP5 for Joel's. And a Galil for Snakes.
Still can't believe we had the MP5 out. I never see that gun, and I honestly don't understand it. I don't see why it's better in any way than the MP7. But that's just me.
I'm an MP5
I got a Stat Trek Urban Hazard MP7 skin. I'm happy.
The case is pricey nowadays. That's a breakout collection, is it not?
I think so. I picked it
orange
up on
one?
the Steam market a long time ago.
Sigsy. Starts things off, though. Kind of wrote off this round because it was a half buy with some deagles, but it's already proving scary for Strife. Aggression in towards the hut, not called out. Instead, incentivized with that pick. Infinite will get a trade. Nice pick. Joel takes lots of damage, but he doubles down. The MP5 Boggs. It's proven to be worth its weight in gold. It's $1,200, a 2-man advantage. All off the back of a so disparaged SMG.
He runs into 6, who's got that Galil. And I'll tell you, I'll take a Galil over an MP7 or an MP5 any day of the week, so will 6y. But it looks like Joel's is just going to sit there on B. He's kind of isolated from his teammates. He'll have to wait out the rest of the round there. As 6y and Silas have no reason to actually go for this retake. Joel's will get caught by Silas, presumably. Or 6y. Someone. Oh, 6y actually up towards A? I mean, I guess, yeah, you can go for it, but still, a Tender and Chop on so low money. It's kind of worth saving a gun here, especially for the extra utility. Nuke requires a lot of CT utility, so bit of an interesting call to go for that. Even if it is for an exit, the money, yes, it's low on Strife, but your money's also in the gutter. Joel's will probably try and upgrade now. We'll see if he can get into a rifle and out of the SMG world. Hunt for Silas will not be successful. He's back behind the forklift. Not quite forklift certified. That's why he's not in the driver's seat. But he's using a Discover. And hey, that's good use of a parked forklift.
Can't drive him in this game. Maybe Source 2. Or Counter-Strike 2, excuse me.
That would be fun.
That would be epic. Movable cover,
But
man?
only if you're forklift certified, though.
You need to buy the certification if you die every single time. Okay, defuse kit. 4 AK, or actually, there's an MP5 still in play. Excuse me for Joel's.
Yeah,
okay.
He didn't upgrade.
He didn't upgrade, but he also didn't drop it. He has confidence. You know what? I respect it. Stamina on the op. Again, finding entries. This time on the T side, more apt. And Consti's failing the KC check with the op. Might get exploited. No. They won't force the issue. But Consti will. He's going to walk into the angle. Oh, my goodness. This is a one and done if I've ever seen it. Finds one. Yeah, no chance to find a second. Tender, though, does drop Aris in the meanwhile, so we do have a tied ball game. It's still anybody's round. Again, Strife have been consistently winning them. They have not been winning them cleanly. Joel's picks up the mantle of Big Green. He will not fail Stamina's teachings as he finds the kill, channeling his inner stamina. Leaving just Sigsy and Silas, and it looks like they're already calling the save.
Joel says, "When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master."
I know it was Star Wars, but I want to say it's Kung Fu Panda.
It's not. You know what that's from, Nate. Search your feelings, Nate. You will know it to be true. There's no bomb plant. This is winnable for Vendetta, Nate. This is an actual winnable situation for Vendetta because Strife took way too long to get the bomb down.
What happened?
And they've walked into angles where Vendetta were holding. They've died. It's a 2v2. And the bomb is stuck on the outside.
He's in a power position now.
Yeah, Joel's only has 2 rounds of the op, too. He can't miss. He drops right onto sight. He's going to stick it. 60's going to creep forward. Infinite spots the gun barrel, and he knows where Silas is as well. Infinite! Ooh, messy duel. But he comes out on top. Patrick on the round. Brazil's scoreline in the favor of Strife. They put up 7 on this T set of Nuke. And the craziest part is they barely had any clean rounds. They've all been messy. They've all been scrappy. But they're still up by such a large margin.
I'm going to say it right now. This was a good brain play from Jules. He spotted the player dropping. He got the spot. He used the bomb plant to bait Sixy into the open. And that was the opening they needed. That was what they needed to redeem the round, Strife. But again, their economy's still not in a good way. They have a Mac 10 for Snakes. He's looking to harvest some cash. The issue is Vendetta have gone for the investment. Yet again, it's 4 M4s and the MP9. There's no op to speak of. But their heads are quite squishy against the SMG of Snakes. So he does have an opportunity if he can hit his shots.
Got a running gun sometimes. Tender boosted up with one of those aforementioned SMGs, the MP9 though. Sixy makes noise, he's running, and Snakes will run him down. Traded by Silas, but Silas with that double kill, that's massive. That gives him an advantage to Vendetta. It gives him a leg to stand on, and Stamina will not get gifted a free return on to Silas as he elects not to peek into Squeaky. Infinite's creeping up towards ramp. Will he check the top of the boxes though? Will he check boost? He won't. That's a big miss. You gotta check boost. You gotta check it every time. If you don't, that'll happen to you. It's the one time you don't check it that you get killed from it.
It's always a one time. Tenderizing his opponent with a flurry of bullets. The 2 versus 4. It looks like they're still going to attempt something with Stamina going towards spawn, potentially lining up smokes for a bit of a fake outside in the yard. Actually, maybe towards mini, it appears. Oh no, it's front door. Okay. Sam comes through. Chop goes down the vents. This is a good read from Vendetta. Aris now going to try to drop down right into Chop. That's a knife kill. That is a knife kill. Stamina the last alive. He fails to run down on top of mini. And he's just going to try to dig out. Doesn't even hit the headshot. Doesn't get anything. And consti, will he recover the op? I think he heard the fall. Did he get it? Oh no. We're going to have to see after. What a knife kill from Chop though. A nice chunk of change.
The KZ check after.
Yep. And consti, did he get dropped the op? Yes. Chop did buy it. So they didn't get the op. The throwaway from the likes of Stamina did prove important. But with the knife kill, they can afford it. Strife will go for the investment. AK Galil, Mac 10, Tech 9. Pair of Mac 10s, in fact. But I do think Vendetta can at last equalize the second round on the board. Silas finding the first, Chop the second. Mac 10 of Aris can't find anything outdoor, or out hut, excuse me, in the other goings. It'll fall away, and now Strife will just barrel towards the ramp. Tender's waiting with open arms. He'll find one, not the second. Good trade from Stamina. But again, it's just been scrappy. This time around, the scrappy doesn't pay off for Strife.
They've already in 7 rounds on the team side, though, so realistically speaking, they're fine. But of course, they want to take this advantage and run it into the ground, and run Vendetta into the ground by extension. Stamina with another kill, but he's very low on health. Chop creeping through that smoke, and he gets backstabbed. Stamina's brought this to a 1v2, but he's still isolated. He's got a lot of time, though. And if Vendetta want to split up from each other, they can get picked apart. Sixy, he's going to be up towards A, and I think consti's going to join him. I think they are going to buddy system here. Does Sixy have the sound cue? No, he doesn't. Does Stamina get the bomb down? Yes, he does. Consti. There is no kit for Vendetta here. At least not on A. Stamina's going to work around, too. He's going to swing in towards lobby. Maybe try and go for a backstab onto consti. Did consti just let a shot rip? He's ready for it.
It was a flashbang.
Kill. Yeah.
The flashbang made him double back.
Into that.
It feels like it. At the same time, it's like a heads-up play. I think Sixy was able to clear out the site, and from there, it was like, where else could he be except for hut? So, good play from them. Splitting up does pay off in this case, but you mentioned it could have been exploited. You could tell Stamina had no hesitation in his play. The only time he stutter stepped was when he heard the flash, and it was totally unimportant. When it came to the bomb plant, when it came to the clutch, he was stone cold and he was convinced that his play was the right one. And honestly, that is a very scary opponent to deal with. Well done from Vendetta to close it out and get their third on the board. That's 2 in a row. Gives them some breathing room. Allows them to potentially pull off a bit of a comeback here, but Strife with pistols have been dangerous. They are the team that's been scrappy. Chop burns away the first, the op of consti scopes away the second. Just a Tech 9, a Deagle, and a P250 remaining for the ranks of Strife.
Not a round they could expect to win, but a round they could expect to do a little more damage at the very least. 60 might get another one. Spots the knee of Snakes, but he won't let a shot through it. Tender's on top of the box's ramp, isolates the fight with Aris, takes a lot of damage, but he's got all 3, has to be careful not to burn alive and go for the good old classic 1G. He won't, and we'll see a 4th on the board now for Vendetta, closing the gap slowly and steadily, finally starting to edge out in the scrappy rounds and building a lead off of it. Strife going to reinvest, though, of course. They had 2 Galils, 3 AKs. They'll go back in. Snakes should buy a little bit of utility around as well, and he will. But Strife, at the very least, if they can get 8, I think they'll be happy. But of course, you have to think of what could have been for them. And they will probably think the very same thing if this ends up as an 8-7, either in their favor or even worse in Vendetta's. They could have made this so much more easy once it swapped over to the CT side, but they found it difficult to cleanly finish off rounds and consistently win those rounds as well.
Yeah, props to them. Chop up top, Mustang easily cleared. Silas though finds one of them. He wants 60 and Event, they just find one on the ladder. He might have. Silas doubles down. Infinite Nares, though, finally finds some kills in response. Leaving just Tender and consti. Consti through the smoke, through the wall. Nothing can stop him. They'll drop Infinite. And Tender on this flank has Aris dead to right. Surely, yes, he does. It is the 5th for Vendetta. They finally found the winning recipe. The question is it too late, Box?
Is it too late, and where's the timeout from Strife? Because they haven't tried to adapt. It's the same problem we saw for Strife when they got out to their early lead on Mirage. Had a bit of a stumble towards the midway portion, then got an 8-7 halves. Or, yeah, they got the 8-7 half, if I remember right. So, Strife, it feels like they take a break in the midway portions of these maps. And that's just also something that's going to bite you if you're up against somebody like an ATK, like an EG Black, or even if you're going higher up the ladder, like a Complexity or a team from Europe. That's a nice shot from consti. They'll get caught 1 for 1. Tender can't come up with anything. A lot of damage, sure, but it's not enough. Strife just goes fast for the B rush. And it's a lot up to Silas now to hold this line. They're going to Molotov in, but Silas still gets 1. Traded nicely by Stamina. 60 down the vents. Chop is trying to come down, and 60 with a big win to a 2v2. Bomb needs to go down for Strife. They're going to stick it in this 2v2. Very critical. Vendetta's chances pretty much hanging in the balance here.
Yeah. 8 for Strife. Massive. Potentially more from there as they get a second wind. And we'll go back to the ramp. Kind of playing alone. Joel's just in towards control. And trying to hold the cross as best he can. Spots the player back silo, but overcommit smoke on the bomb. Now things get dicey. Now things get crazy. Wacky and zany. The spam comes through. Infinite gets that. 60 exiting the ramp. Will find a consolation kill, sure, but not the round. And again, at this point, Strife have more than enough. It's an 8th on the board.
That 8th is up for Strife. Absolutely massive. They've secured the half, and they're going to try and build on for more. But again, their economy is this ever-present problem. They're never able to stabilize. They're never able to really get things going. And they lose a couple of players. They can lose them around, and they'll be broke again. So for Strife, they have to find a way to not just choke, to not just lose so many players. 60. He's up on top of Hut. Smokes off the molly, backs down off of Tetris. But he makes some noise. Infinite retreats from Marshmallow. Slow and steady start here to the round. $1:30 on the clock. Those Galils, the lack of utility. Something to keep an eye on. Another smoke for top squeak. 60 crosses. Doesn't spot anybody though. And no spam from Strife to return. Very slow-paced round. Very slow-paced round from Strife. They're creeping outside now, but I say they. It's just one. It's just Aris, lurking alone. There's been no outside control from Vendetta. And now Silas going to get mollied out here. He's not... Wait, no, it's not going to spread. It's not going to go deep enough. Oh, Silas, he's living right. But will that even matter?
Will it matter? It's a great question. Infinite going up towards heaven. This could be a very important flank. I don't think he's being watched for. Timing's everything. Pushing out, he'll spot the player old vent. In the meanwhile, Snakes drop Silas. There we go. 2 and 3. Aris makes it 4. Just consti left. 1 versus 5 up in hand. He's towards ramp, and at this point, he's heading for the hills. Question is, will he be allowed to the hills? Because Strife are keen on hunting. Infinite just toying with the op. Consti will find one. Consti not a second. Infinite finds the trade. And Strife. It's been a statement of a map thus far, Boggs. 9 rounds, and at this point, likely a 10th on the T side of Nuke, no less.
Yes, sir. It's looking fantastic for the Strife lads. And even better than it did on Mirage. But of course, they'd have to win the pistol. They'd have to win this one. They'd have to really just finish things off clean. And that's something they've struggled with, is keeping it clean, is keeping players alive. So, you know, it's definitely a bit odd when they have 9 rounds on this T side. They still have no money. They still have had to scrape buys together. But Stamina, he's got the entry frag onto an aggressing Silas through Trophy. That's another start for Strife that goes in their favor. Now it's just about scaling forward and getting the bomb down. It doesn't matter how clean they win this round, because it's the last round of the half. But moving on to the CT side, that will become imperative.
This game's been crazy close in terms of attrition. It's been scrappy through and through. You can tell because Constant stopped price at the server at 14, and Vendetta, like across the board, maybe even out-frag Strife. I should tell you how scrappy and back and forth this has been. Joel's the inside man down the vents, finds one. CSGO has rotated around in a timely manner. He will find one, but can he get more? He needs to be the hero. He needs to buy time, and well, he can't do that. Infinite takes him down. It was only a brief delay because of 60. And a 4 versus 2 at this point for Vendetta. They'll try. There's no reason not to, but seems like 10 is a foregone conclusion. Sam playing anti-flash with the op, trying to bait them in. Toying with his food in a very literal way. Chop and Consti. 5-7 and MP9. They have a kit. They have no smoke. They have no utility. They have 4/5 of the Strife ranks ahead of them.
Stamina, just Consti left. He does get 1, but only 1. Double digits for Strife on the T side of Nuke. Can they close this one out? We'll find out after the break.
No secrets.
Caught up in emotions, think I'm losing track. I need you to stay by my side. Feel like I'm floating, comfortably detached. Will you stay if I lose my mind? And I want to let go. Don't let me even if I try. But I need you to know that I don't wanna lose this high. closer to my heart. All we have is time now, we can push our luck. Just tell me you won't fall apart. And I want to let go. Don't let me even if I try. But I need you to know that I don't wanna lose this, lose this, lose this, lose this. I don't wanna lose this, lose this, lose this, lose this. I don't wanna lose this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It was a dominant performance from Strife in the first half on their T side, no less. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs and Vendetta, trying to pull up a similar performance with a no-nonsense play towards ramp. Chops away stamina, the first casualty in the round. A solid start for the T side and their play down towards B, but Strife are quick on the rotations. Aris drops Chop. Tender, though, will find a trade towards Joel's. That's towards Hell, and that really opens up Pandora's box. Vendetta now can go back towards A, and as you can tell, Strife are racing to try and stop the plant, but it's going to come through. No chance of stopping it, and 6C back towards old vents. A very solid position now in the post plant for Vendetta.
Snakes. He spots one. 6E's trying to hold him at bay, dancing around Mini. Forcing Snakes away as the timer ticks lower and lower. No Kit and now no Snakes. Infinite and Aris both spotted. One for each. And two left standing. Is the bomb planted for him, though? No, it's not. But Silas, he's pushing in. He finishes off Aris as Infinite falls to the hands of 6E. Pistol round and an imperative pistol round for Vendetta converted. If they would have lost it, their chances would have almost evaporated. But they've won it. They got the bomb down, they won the round, and now Strife will force into this and begin a war of attrition. They have 10 rounds, they don't need to force the issue.
They don't, but they want to. Scrappy was their motto in half number one. I think we decided on that. Scrappy is going to be their motto in half number two as well, at least in the early goings. 357s and MP9, a scout, and stamina with the scout. Again, finding entries on the CT side of all sides. Jumping up top of the garage, finding the opening. And he's already dissuading Vendetta from going for an outside yard take.
Well, who's the one who starts it off for Strife? It's Stamina. He's been the engine for this team. Across both maps. Steps up when he's called upon. The IGL who leads from the front. And Aris, up on top of Hut, can get himself a couple of free kills. Infinite's going to creep up the vents as well. And now he'll go back down. Silas eats that nade for 44 HP. So Vendetta, with about 50 seconds on the clock, are going to start throwing some utility outer yard, but still take it slow towards the inner site. Very slow and methodical round from the T side. And this doesn't really play into their hands, because when they actually bust into a site, they're up against an SMG and 5.7s. Not exactly the kind of guns you want to get up close and personal with.
Definitely not, but they don't have another option. Stamina at the ramp. An ever-present menace with the scout. Oh, timing's everything. He already begins working. His teammates pressuring in towards Trophy. Snake somehow finds the kill, nonetheless. He's walking right into his death. And he hasn't fallen yet either. He'll find a second with Stamina combining fire. Stamina finds a third. It's just Consti alone, 1 versus 4. And you said that the forest buy might have been foolhardy, but it clearly was part of the plan. Consti won and done. The rifle is recovered, dropped by Snakes to his teammate. They'll be recovered by everybody excluding Aris. Still, Strife steal away the round, pick up the rifles, and also nab the momentum with it. And
no bomb, I mean, Vendetta can't really afford to force. They can try, but Oh man, there's actually 3 players at 1400. This is not a bad idea to force here because they're on double eco. They're going to go all in. They're going to force up and Strife with a massive opportunity to put themselves into pole position to win this map and take this series 2-0. Oh man, that's the thing though. They took too long on Vendetta. They took too long. They let the pistols post up. They had to go close range and fast. And that's what happens when you try to push a 5-7 around a corner. You're going to get domed.
Yep.
Doesn't feel very good, but 60, he's going to deliver a cranial cave-in onto Stamina. That's a big player to take out early. And a man advantage to work with Infinite up close and mini. This crouch from Silas actually saves his life. The wild spray from Aris, the swap back, the 12 HP, and he's finished off. It's all up to Snakes. The Force Spy Wars appear to have started, but the bomb drops into the possession of Snakes, but he's got a flank to worry about. 60 could go around the long way, but he's going to group up with Chop. Snakes spots the one, he spots the next, but Chop wins it out. Begun, the Force Spy Wars have.
Was waiting for it. There it is. There it is. It's the Yoda reference for all of you wondering.
I gotta mix up the original trilogy and the prequels.
Yeah, we gotta do them both the respect they're due. After
We just
all.
don't mention the later ones.
No, there's prequels and original trilogy, and
And
all the cartoons that go around it.
Oh yeah, and Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch.
They all work. It's going to be another Force Spy in response from Strife. Better than the one they had before. 2 MP9s, a FAMAS, Eagle 1 5-7. Snakes at ramp. Oh. Sig-C. It's his turn to be the spear, and he's having tremendous success both in the round prior and now. Good headshot to the smoke onto Snakes. Advantage secured. Still have a long way to go, though, Vendetta.
Chop. He's trying to rotate around into heaven. Get the drop on Strife. Tender holding, headshot onto Stamina. Chop's push. Deal some damage. Aris does get 1, but there's where Chop chimes in. He cuts 2 from behind, and now Joel's in a 1v3. Pretty unwinnable from this position. Very rough spot for him to be in. Bomb will go down on A, and I don't think Joel's going to be able to do too much. Timing against Tender. Good cleanup work from him. Vendetta, they break serve finally. Now it's time for them to hold again before the buy comes out from Strife. This gap's going to close. We're going to get real close before Strife can really build something up. The other thing, too. Get the op for Stamina. He's been a menace with it. He needs it.
5 nades. Where are those explosive apples gonna go? Out in the yard is the answer. Nobody's there. 0 damage with the utility. I like the idea. At least they get some control, I guess. Maybe a fast, poignant flank with US peaks to do something, but Vendetta are playing far more decisively than they normally do. They're already on the A site. They're getting the plant down for free. And now they know something's up. Now they know something's amiss, awry on the side of Strife. Question is, will they expect this sloppy drop, I guess, down the ladder? Yes is the answer. Tender finds 1, spots a second. He knows it's a fast outside flank. Chop finds a second. Snake's tagged down, almost taken out. Silas drops Stamina in the meanwhile. No resistance offered by the CT side. Just Snakes. His steps are heard, and he's not long for the world. Expected round for Vendetta, but the fact that they keep it flawless, means that they get a nice boon to their T side economy. Strife will try to invest now, but as you mentioned, they don't have the money for the op. And in fact, their buy is kind of scrappy. 2 M4A1Ss, a FAMAS, and actually 2 FAMASs and an MP9. 1 kit. That's good, but it leaves a lot to be desired.
What has this game been for Strife besides scrappy? Because it surely hasn't been as clean as they would have liked. It surely hasn't been as successful as they would have liked, because they would have liked to finish this already. But it certainly has been scrappy, and that was the point. If it's scrappy on the CT side, they're going to struggle. They're going to be in a very bad spot. Only 1 for Aris. Joel's drops as well. Infinite, that's a messy spray. He gets traded out by 60. Snakes in lobby catches out. Ooh, that's a messy spray. Gets consti. consti. They just can't win a clean fight on the Strife side. It's up to Snakes now alone as Stamina's caught off by Tender. Bomb going down. Vendetta on the verge of 10. And Strife, they've got no money. But Snakes brings it to a 1v1. Although, theoretically, it would be worse for Strife to win this round than for them to lose it.
Oh, he's beckoned him in. It's such a good play from the Snakes. He just gifted it. Plenty of time for the defuse. He gets an upgraded rifle. And that's just outplaying yourself. A, I want to say there's no way that the MAC-10 should have 2 kills. Straight up. No way against the rifle should the MAC-10 have 2 kills. And B, MAC-10 just outreads himself. Snakes pushes to the door, gets the kill on to 60 if I'm not mistaken, and then just holds his ground. He thinks the MAC-10 is going to try to get suave with it, and he does. The MAC-10 doesn't hear anything coming towards Hut, so it tries to wrap around. Seems like a good play in theory, but it neglects the time. If that FAMAS is waiting, it's an easy kill and an easy victory, and that's exactly what it was for Snakes. He was the bottom frag, but he is now having tremendous impact for Strife.
Massive impact indeed. It's a huge round to win. At the same time, Strife still don't have a great buy. 2 MP9s, a FAMAS. They have the saved AK and an M4 on stamina. Vendetta, money, and the full buy. AK's the op. Still within striking distance of Strife as well. It's not an easy road to victory for the CT side currently. They need to win some rounds and clean. They need to get that op on stamina.
Yeah, really, it should be their primary prerogative, I agree. We saw how good he was with the Migratory Scout. Imagine that with the big green instead. One shots, excuse me, with near impunity would be massive. Just crossing the minute threshold. No real control in either direction, but we do actually have a cross secret from Chop that's called out. Stamina is there waiting. And consti can't concentrate either. Player crosses back through the smokes and now meets up with his squad towards A, and in the meanwhile, Snake's back ramp finds one. consti. This will work with the op. It can be very unwieldy in this case, but it might just work out. Tender and Silas find one apiece. consti a third. Somehow Vendetta bail themselves out. consti, no business finding two. It leaves just Stamina, the migratory player, all over the map in a 1 versus 3. And where is he? He's all the way down towards B. At this point, I don't think he has a horse in the rest of this race. I think he has to save the M4 for the following.
He's appearing to go for something. He's at least throwing some utility in towards A. He's going to go through the smoke and die instantaneously. Not sure what the idea was there. Saving would have been a much better option, but it is what it is. 12-10. Vendetta so close to tying this one up, Nate. And this should be a one-round game by the time this round is all said and done.
I don't get it. I don't understand how we got here. It looks so
Strife
good
can't
for Strife.
win a clean round. That's why.
They can't win a clean round. They lost against the Force Spine. That was also an incredibly important juncture. Two Deagles. Is that a P250 or a P2K? I can't tell. Either way, one of the Deagles is dispatched immediately. That was Infinite taken down. P2000. Unfortunate. Dings exchanged between Sigsy and Snakes. A lurk outside for the Deagle could be impactful. We'll have to see how impactful. Stamina, of course. Who else? He does so much footwork for this CT side. Sixty's already watching for it, as is consti, though. He's beheaded. No dancing around that issue there. Sigsy, low, will get given the op. But it's just unupgraded pistol standing between Vendetta and Victory. This should be a clean mop-up.
Keyword should. Should has not really been the actual occurrence that we've seen so far. P2000 gets a kill on a consti. As we said, should is not exactly normal right now. Aris walking in, about by Chop. Only one casualty, but still more than should have been happening for Vendetta. I mean, they should have won that clean. Still, they've got money. It's not too bad. And look at this buy for Strife again. FAMAS's, M4s, no op for Stamina. Snakes on another M4 as well, but there's also a distinct lack of something, Nate, that costs $400 and has kind of bitten Strife in the rear end. At least once. At least the lack thereof.
It did Vendetta
There's
in
no
the first
kid.
half.
Yeah.
Seen it have tremendous importance and good now. 6C maintaining control of the op. He's going for the pick towards ramp. Infinite needs to be very careful here. He has a good dink though. 6C dissuaded from peeking any further. Some fancy footwork from Infinite. Very lucky and very ballsy to stick around at the ramp despite all of the adversity met.
No utility left for Strife, too. Just a Molotov, 2 smokes, and a flashbang. Still got a minute to go. Oh, boy. This is another awkward round where everything's just taking a bit of a pause in the midway point.
It's going to be a tense 45 seconds here. No one wants to
Very.
give away the opening. Strife know it. They're at their wits' end. If they lose this round, they will give away the lead to Vendetta. A lot of the momentum with it. Fake smokes out in the yard. It is Stamina in the garage, back in the corner. Vendetta, it looks like the bulk of their play is going to be towards A. Volley back sight compels Jules to drop. It's actually a fake. Double back. Infinite is here holding the off angle in towards Z, but he only finds one. Good trade from Tender. And pace is on. Vendetta race down towards the site. 12 seconds left. They're going to have to get the plant down. Snake swinging out. Does spot some players. Doesn't fall either. Stamina. The bait switch finds one. Snake's a second. He drops the
That's the
bomb.
round.
No time. No time. That's the round. And Vendetta outplayed themselves. Don't give themselves enough time to work with. And it was a chaotic mad dash down to the B site, but it's a mad dash that favors the CT side.
Strife can't win a clean round. They just can't. It's always messy. It's always scrappy. It's always minimal players surviving. Vendetta gifting them that round, though. It's almost similar to the round where Strife only had the 5-7s. And they just hit something very late. The 5-7s decided to go do what they do best and hit headshots. And it's just, they kind of ran into rifles this time, Vendetta. And the slow rounds do not avail them. They are the exact opposite of how the round should be playing out for Vendetta right now. When they go fast, they tend to have success. When they go slow, they get caught. They get stuck in a bog. They get stuck in quicksand. And they're unable to get out. Fair warning public service announcement about quicksand, by the way. Don't struggle with quicksand. If you get stuck in it, that's how you sink.
Let it happen. Admit your fate. Until
it's
someone
not
comes to
very
rescue
deep.
you. I know.
Yes. You just gotta sit there. There's also a way to like get water in there and allow you to actually move, but I don't remember the exact specifics, so I'm not going to specify.
Stamina spotted crossing back towards the garage, though. The question is, will he know that? Doesn't seem like it. Chop's gonna get flashed in. Stamina should be dead to rights here. Flash just goes high, so Stamina. There we go. Flash. Not perfect. In fact, the team blinds, but the spray's whiffed. That was a free kill. Stamina exploiting the potential. So we'll years that is Vendetta. Instead, he's punished for it. Snakes will find a trade, and Aris will double down short. But consti answers finally. Snakes a second as he crosses towards Tetris. And Joel's up top, finds one before being traded. Consti on the op now. 1v2. He knows where one is. Does he expect the second heaven, though? That's the question. Doesn't seem like it. He'll go down the vents instead. This is a winnable 1v2 for Consti. He has been quick with the op. The question is, can he find them both? Will Snakes and Infinite give him the 1 versus 1 to require?
Well, they've got a molly. So you would expect that to be used.
Split up.
Yeah, the molly, those... Oh, Consti's made the rotation. He's made the rotation to dark cubby. Ooh, this is a really good call. I like this a lot, but the molly's perfect. The molly's perfect. He's into the open. He's donezo. Strife have found another round. They've strung 2 together. But again, the problem is they've only survived with 2. They finally get the op for Stamina, though. That's something that they've not had the entire CT half. So that's incredible. But still.
Excited for some entry opping from him, but yeah, I agree.
The problem-
The economic woes are not going to get any
Yeah.
easier. Pro 90.
Are you serious?
Is that intentional?
Are you serious?
Where was
No.
the Pro 90 when Bodemaster was playing?
Seriously? No.
Who was the
LSP 90? No. Yeah, not when Bowden's on 140 ping. No, we don't see it. But we see it here on Aris.
I'm flummoxed. I am flummoxed. This is not the game that I would have expected to see a P90 in. I would have expected it in the other one. In fact, I even called it out. I said P90.
Yeah, my
here we
brain
are.
is doing my mouse cursor is spinning right now.
I hear the dial-up sound in my brain. Does not compute.
Gosh, now I do too. I hate you.
Classic. Smoke thrown crossing. It's a bit of a fake though from Vendetta. No one's actually here. Silas. Walking around right this time. It's going to be an A play. Pro 9 in the back of sight. Lines up two, only one. It's trades even thus far. Aris finds the second with the molly. And Infinite up the vents finds one, not the second. Consti. And ever constant with the op finds the shot. Back to even footing. Joel's the smoke on a hunch. Finds the kill and gets away no less. Leaves just Consti again in a very deja vu situation. 1 versus 2. It's going to be the op duel on site versus Stamina.
He's got time. Stamina staying scoped in. Consti flicking around, looking for a no-scope. Stamina's holding the line, and Consti walks right in. Gives him a gift. And Strife have found match point. This is an elimination match, folks. Loser goes home. Winner plays the loser of ATK versus EG Black. ATK won that first map. EG Black currently up 13-6, I believe, on map number 2. So that one looks to be going to a third. Ours, though, could end right here and now. But again, the buy is scrappy from Strife with an MP9 on Infinite, rifles on the rest. But Vendetta, 2 MAC-10s, 3 Tech-9s. This is not the buy you want to have to stay alive in a qualifier, to stay alive in a tournament. And it looks like they're going to go for the smoke wall rush secret. A little bit of utility damage, a little bit of Molotov damage, a lot of bit of Molotov damage, actually. Silas down to 44 HP. Stamina's here. Infinite goes down, and he goes down swinging. Can't get anything done. Snakes drops down the vents. He does drop the bomb. And a second, not quite the third. But 60's
in the
got
vents
Aris as well. Oh my gosh. This has turned into the favor of Vendetta.
Where'd he come from? He was in the vent. He was lurking in lobby the whole time. I thought he was with the squad. That's the timely flank that is the X factor. 2 rifles recovered. The issue is Consti and Chop are quite low. 60's also not mortally wounded, but wounded to a decent degree at 60 HP. They slow things down. They're hoping to find one to really solidify this in their favor. The issue is the op is playing its range strength, and the AK is just holding its ground with his back against the wall. This is the right call from Strife. Not getting antsy, not probing for information, just waiting, biding their time. They know that Vendetta have to plant the bomb at the very least.
Got to get the bomb down. They've got to win. It's a very tenuous situation for both teams. 60 creeping
They
out.
go for it. They're going for it.
Oh,
They aren't going for
they
it.
have to. Oh, yeah, they're going to save. It's not a bad call from Strife, considering the fact that they've had no money this entire half.
They won with 2 players alive in like the past, what, is it 3 rounds now that they won with 2 players alive? Like an absurd stat line. Scrappy Strife. That's all I can say. They somehow string only scrappy rounds together. It was just like that in the first half. I don't know. It's very interesting.
I'm not sure, man. I don't know. We haven't really seen too many timeouts this map either. And I feel like both teams would have benefited from them. But looking at it, trying to get a magnifying glass out and really inspect this, Nate. Strife are forcing in. If they lose this round, we're going all 30.
Yep. But don't doubt that 5-7. We've seen it work wonders in the hands of Snakes. I'm sure Snakes would prefer a Pro 90 as well. We saw that in Aris's hands a couple rounds prior.
I don't know. I'd take the 5-7.
That's fair.
5-7's
Aren't a
too
P90
good.
enjoyer. I still isn't great for Vendetta either. They have a Khalil on 60. Good timely flank though from Chop starts things off. Snakes up top is bullied, flashed away. The 5-7 can't do much. There we go. The MP9 finally chimes in for 1, but only 1. 2 versus 4. Again, Stamina with the op. Will no scope 1. He'll no scope 2 up the ladder. What's going on? Stamina. Can he bail them out? Shotgun up.
He's got to do it all.
4K with the op is what's required. Is he going for it? There's no way. There's no way he goes for this.
Where is... Oh, he's got the CZ. Does he clear vents? Does he clear? He does. Headshot. He's got 8 rounds. He's got the op. It comes down to the shot against Silas, who peeks out. No scope, misses. We're going 30. We're going 30, fellas. Holy moly, Stamina so close and yet so far. If he keeps the CZ out, he might win it.
He really left that one up to the RNG gods. He really did.
I mean, they blessed him twice. Well, I think 3 times.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. What is fool me 3 times, Bugs? Is it back to shame on you, or is it shame on me? I can't recall.
I don't think there is anything about 3 times. I only know the first 2. Maybe fool me thrice, put me on ice.
Honestly, this game would be put on ice. It's fitting. Infinite with the USP, just dancing with death. Can't really find anything. Expect it. Again, it's nothing invested. 0. Nada. 4 USPs and the P2K for Joel's. Versus rifles and Vendetta. Just clearing everything out with just spray fires. The numbers, I would say they could potentially find something, but with constantly finding a collateral, they cannot find anything. It's just Aris up towards A. He's had a decent showing. In fact, everybody on Strife has had a very decent showing on this map. But the star has been on the side of Vendetta. Consti at 28 kills. This game has been so stacked, Bugs. Everybody on Vendetta is over 20 kills. They are out-fragging Strife despite being behind at pretty much every point in this map.
Yep. Consti 28, Tender 24. No player under 20 kills on the Vendetta side. Meanwhile, Joel's at 15, Snakes at 19, Stamina leading the charge on Strife at only 22. There are 2 individuals on the Vendetta squad with more individual kills than Stamina. And now there's a vent drop, fast vent drop from 6. He tosses the flames behind him. Looks for a cross. His teammates work their way outside. Joel's can get the drop on him though. The FAMAS spray is wild, but he does connect it. Grabs an AK. That should be a little more reasonable. Stamina from Unbreakable. He needs 1 at least, maybe 2. He goes out wide and he splits the goalposts. He kicks a field goal. That's not good enough. Chop destroys Aris. Infinite bides his time, but he swings out wide. He does no damage. Snake's caught from heaven. He's sent down. And Joel's last alive dies in the end. We're going to overtime, folks. We'll see you in a bit. Sorry, folks. Apparently we're not doing the break that we always do in overtime number 1. So we're getting back into the action here. No breaks in the pain train is Strife.
Maybe he wanted a break. Maybe he did want the break, man.
I think he did want the break, man. He's still in spawn.
He invested. He invested, so he was here to buy.
No, Stamina didn't buy. That's a drop. He's got 12.5. What is happening?
Yeah, he wanted the break, man.
What is going on? 6C's just run into T-spawn. This is getting match-medic. This is so getting match-medic.
He was typing before the round even started. It is match-medic. There's no doubt.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, poetic. We get the panic call. There's no pause. There's no pause. We're going in. We're going in. And then we go in. And Sam is just sitting there comatose, man. Of course. Of course. And there we go. Ooh. It's restarted. There should be no lengthy pauses. Just enough for Stamina to come back. Hopefully he's here. Yep, there's the op. He's here. We're ready, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of comedic relief after that scrappy regulation bout. And now we're virtually back at mano a mano, 15-15. Keep in mind, it's 12.5K overtime, it's not the 16K. And it is the first one at 2:19. It's written there right on the HUD. I didn't realize that, so the explanation is kind of pointless. 3 round halves.
Still good.
Yeah, it's still good to say, but
It's a good reminder.
can Consti be the menace he's been? Or can Stamina finally shut him up with the up of his own?
Consti's on for a 30 bomb. It's not a regulation 30, so it's a little bit... It's like getting a shootout hat trick in hockey. You got 2 goals, you get yours in the shootout. Doesn't really count. Stamina's popped off for 2, though. That's massive. Snakes tries to come in J-Hall, but he is hooked by Tender. Stamina still fighting, still trying to keep them at bay, but he gets chased away. Those 2 picks, so absolutely massive for the start for Strife. And look at the red box play. Strife's ready for this. It's Joel's, but does he look the right direction? Does he expect the help lane? He does. 1 and 2. Another big double, all up to Consti. And this one, this should be the first clean round Strife have had all half.
It's clean important in overtime? A little bit. As long as you have one clean
it's
victory.
Only 12.5 now.
Yeah, if you get one clean victory, you should be good for the rest of the half. So this is their clean victory off the board immediately on the side that they won less rounds on. Important to note. Looking very good for Strife. Surprisingly so, might I add, because Vendetta were a menace on their T side, and honestly, with no one around him, can't really find frags with the op. They toy with him. Infinite finally does him in. M4A4 spray does not whiff this time around. Strife do gain some semblance of a lead that they lost at the tail end of that second half.
Some semblance, but it's only 1. Got to get 3 more to be able to win this one. Vendetta. They've got the op again, but Stamina. He finally gets his. He finally pops off. He finally gets that start with his favorite gun. Another default out from Vendetta. Spam from Infinite. The nade does a little bit on his 60, but it's not going to be too much to write home about. Slow, steady. Now the pop comes. Aris is ready with the molly. He's got the lineup for a pair. Consti team flashes his mates as he tries to get the flashes in from vents. Up the vents. It's Stamina. Is not even going to be needed. As Infinite that's the next kill. Now Consti swings in. The op will strike and chop. What can he do here? He spots a foot. And he gets the headshot. But that should be just about it.
Should be it. There's a third. There we go. 3K in the round. A good heads-up Molotov and a lineup playing on the A site. Proper, very well done from him. And I must say, it's been the double kills. The kills that can't be answered. Strife individually performing out of this world at this point. Aris, a triple there with 2 big ones on the opening. Stamina, the double entry on the first round with the op towards ramp. And of course, I think there was another double in that round. It was Joel's back behind red, as we mentioned. It's the double kills. They're really bailing Strife out. The individuals coming alive when needed most. And now Stamina again back to his stomping grounds at the ramp. Vendetta, it feels like this round is a must-win, given how the regulation rounds played out.
It does feel like a must-win, but then again, overtime can sometimes be completely different from the regulation period. Consti with the op in hand, looking for the opener, but it's Joel's to spam down chop through the smoke. That's a good start from credits. Tender up on top of Hut. Or Mini, rather, looking for something else. Joel's holding the line. Might get lucky for another. Might get spotted by Tender. It's a game of cat and mouse. But Joel's actually spots him out. Takes a little bit of damage. Sends some more down range. Can't quite get the kills, though. Molotov out for top of Hut, or top of Mini. Tender flushed forward. Still toying with Joel's, who's just buying time. Silas in the entrance to Mini, looking to push on through. There's really nobody watching it. Jules does finally catch Tender. He spots out Silas. He's picked the 3K. Stamina falls, but there's so much damage dealt. Consti needs the op shot, but he's been spotted by Jules, having a massive hero play outer yard.
He's been a hero in this whole overtime half. The double kill at red as well in the first round. I think he still got a kill in the second as well. He's been massive. 3 kills. 6C gonna try to bail his team out, doesn't get a clean duel. Joel's in the meanwhile finds the fourth. Joel's finds the ace. That is remarkable. That is huge from him. And that's an 18th for Strife. Now 3 match points on the T side.
3 match points to try and close this one out. They only had 1 on the CT side in the regulation side of things. And now they got to close it out on the offense. Stamina back on the op. Rifles across the rest of the squad. No MP, no Mac 10s, no Tech 9 or rushes. It's going to be a full buy for Strife here in round number, what is it, 24?
34.
Or 34, I mean.
Yeah, we're in overtime. It's over 30.
Yeah.
Got the 10th place wrong. That was the unimportant one, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
We all know it's 30.
I just did 5, 8, 13, plus 10 because that's Counter-Strike, but...
Yep. I get you. You got the hard number. It's all that matters.
Yeah.
Stamina on the op, looking for the opening. He knows that Vendetta are desperate at this point. He knows they like to push trophy. We're just going to post up. He's going to wait. He's got his fishing pole out in the water. Nice little worm on there. He's going to let them squirm. Well, never mind. Consti at the ramp. Finds that 30 bump. Finds 31. He's not baited by the jump peak. It's kind of an expected play. Aris finds 1 before he's done. Snake's now alone. 1 versus 4. To find this would be massive, and let's be honest, it's not going to happen. 6C takes him down, pushing through the hut. And Vendetta do finally find a round in overtime, but right now they're only fighting for another bout of it. There's no possibility at winning it in this one. The best they can do is tie it up at 18 and send us back around for another set of overtime halves.
Well, they've got only 2 more to win, and that last round was convincing. Strife couldn't really do anything at all to shut down Vendetta. Now, Silas spam away towards Squeaky, but he's not going to get any damage done. Stamina looking for an entry kill. That op as usual. A little more difficult on the T side, though, to manage. Consti outside. He was the hero in the last round. Trying to do it again. Slow and steady from Strife. Waiting to bust their way in. What are they going to manage to do? What can they do, Nate? That's the question.
It's a big ask. Tender is the first one to contact over towards Secret. He catches the player throwing the Molotov. That's Aris taken down. And now another advantage for Vendetta. Infinite will drop towards top mini. Chop, though, here, top hut. Will he be cleared? Probably not. Infinite, though, back and break. Well, could clear him if he's quick enough for this A-side split. A lot rests on Infinite here. I don't think he's being watched for. Not. No, it's a possibility, but they aren't outright looking for him. He'll flank the ramp. He'll catch 6C with an 8 out. He wants more as well. Spot comes in. He'll get the kill. Now he's looking for the player heaven. Consti doesn't come down the ladder, though. It's just tied footing. 4 versus 4. And Tender's already waiting in the control room.
Tender needs that shot, but he can't connect it. Snakes the headshot, takes him down. Bomb going down as it's a man advantage for Strife. Silas sprays away, looks for a free kill through the smoke, but he cannot find it. Chop looking for somebody to creep through double doors, but he will not get lucky. Snakes and Stamina taking some damage. Stamina on that op, holding the first choke point at the stairs, waiting for them to walk on down. Spots them all, but he can't hit the shot. Chop's got the first. Stamina dives out on towards sight. Infinite trades, but Silas returns. Time is low, and Joel's is big, but not big enough. Chop has brought it to another round. They stay alive again. 17-18, and another match point for Strife. They've already blown 3. This is Vendetta's time to make them lose a 4th in a row. Strife could not hold the line. Stamina could not hit the shot. This one continues to push on forward. Oh, this is getting narrow. This is getting dirty. This is getting ugly, Nate. It's been pretty ugly for Strife the whole time. They just need one more scrappy round.
They need one more scrappy round. The thing is, I think the whole of the regulation was scrappy, so they didn't use their strat books. And now they get to actually use them with guns, and it makes it a CT-sided affair. Infinite, though, up top Marshmallow. Nice headshot on the Consti. That's the important factor. That's the heavy hitter taken down. A big one to find. Silas tries to trade onto Infinite, and he will eventually. 6C actually finds a second as well. The rounds turn back into the favor of Vendetta. Somehow they find a way to make it back out despite losing their heavy hitter. Joel's a lurk out. It was the right idea, but 60's already waiting for it. Snakes will trade, sure, but Strife playing from a man disadvantaged situation nonetheless. 2 versus 3. Snakes will flash out. Peeking down the vents, he goes with the kill in the pocket. Tender taken down. The question is, can Stamina cross the similarly turbid waters? No Molly Heaven. He'll go down. It is going to be a B play. Chop and Silas. Left to try and retake. Left to try and keep Vendetta alive.
Bomb going down back silo. Stamina has that op, but he has to land the shots this time around. He didn't in the last time. He goes into Decon, and he gets cleaned out by Chop again. Chop edging up towards a 30 bomb as he has really picked up the pace as Snakes has opened his door. There's nobody on it. It's just a bait. It's a bait to reveal his position. There's a lot of time, too, for Vendetta. Chop's on it. He's safe. There's no way Snakes wins this. We're going to OT number 2. It's 18 all. And that means 22 to win. And I don't think we're going to a break here either, Nate. Yeah, we're going right back into it again. We're rolling forward, and Strife now on the T side, coming up empty-handed. And that's just sometimes how overtimes go. The exact opposite of how the regulation looked.
Sure, Stamina doesn't want another break? You sure Stamina doesn't want to take a little break, maybe? Kind of joke about it. That was funny. That was very funny.
That was funny.
Nope, he's ready for it.
He's used to it like we are too, you know?
Yep, ECL. Kind of the usual affair.
ECL, same thing for conference as well. Although that's not a thing anymore.
And it was the same thing for conference.
Yes.
And Strife, no nonsense, just straight cross towards Secret. I like this. We haven't seen it at all from either team thus far.
We saw it once from Vendetta.
Okay, we saw it once from Vendetta. I stand corrected. They're getting a lot of control very quickly. I like this. Consti will smoke towards Decon, but with the op, I can't see him finding more than one. There we go. One. Done. Stamina beheads him in response. Cranial cave-in, as you say. The bomb plant is going down as well. Joel's holding for the rotation down towards Secret. This is a solid position for Strife, but we've seen solid positions dissolve in the blink of an eye.
Oh, Joel's needs to win that fight, but he can't. 60 brings it to a 4v3 in the favor of Vendetta, but Stamina trades it right back. He's hitting his shots now. Why couldn't he do it 2 rounds ago? Strife are wondering, but as long as he can do that, it's all forgiven. A third on the board. Infinite sprays. There's nobody on the bomb. He finishes off Chop. It's up to Silas, and time is out of his reach. He does finish off Stamina. He's got Infinite on a platter. Can he finish the kill? He won't even get that consolation. 19-18. First T round converted in overtime for either side. And it goes the way of Strife.
It's an important one. A huge one. Can they find a second? That's the question. It happens right at the start of this second bout of overtime's first half. Still time for Strife to build a lead to lose again, let's be honest. But also still a chance for them to hopefully close it out. They've had so many opportunities, they have yet to be able to do so. Vendetta have been fighting, scratching, screaming, doing whatever they can to stay alive. It has been scrappy, desperate, backs against the wall, but you know what? They're most dangerous when their backs are against the wall.
Well, it's never over until the final round is put on the board, and Vendetta have definitely lived by that. Thing is, will they die by that as well? They've stayed alive. They've been able to keep themselves in this game without going down. But being able to win it, that's the real question. Being able to push it over the line. Slow A play on the cards from Strife. They don't even have anybody up top to really throw the utility. They're going to rely on Aris to kind of go for a mini flank here, or at the very least hold rotations. Aris gets caught by 60. That could actually just completely throw this whole round into chaos, because now Vendetta have a very good idea of what exactly is happening. 60 going in towards Hut, wins the fight against Stamina. Big miss from the in-game leader. Out through Squeaky they train. Snakes with the trade, but it's a bit late. And now the rotations are coming up. There still is another one in Hut. There's no way they expect this. Silas on the fast flank. Silas is a lineup. Chop has one from behind. Infinite in a 1v4. He's got one, but he has 3 more to find, and not a lot of time to get the bomb down. Not a lot of space to operate. That smoke will only last a measly amount of time, and Chop will get him on the spot from Tender up in heaven. 19 all here into the last round of the second half of OT. Stamina will be dropped and off. There's plenty of money to buy up around this. I don't know. This one seems like it's going to go a long time, Nate. It just seems neither team can consistently get enough for a win.
Boggs, you've jinxed yourself, man. I hate to say it. You're talking about this not going late. Praying on it. It looks like this one's going far beyond the pale. It does feel like we're in for a stalemate. Stamina, though, boosted up, does find the opening. Again, Consti taken down. Consti's effect on these rounds has been effectively mitigated. Stamina burns alive. He's tagged through the smoke. What is he going for? When he goes for plays like that, it either looks like the smartest call conceivable or the dumbest. And in this case, it definitely looked dumb. Silas, jumps into one of very lucky not to be exploited. He barely survives, not even that. Aris spams through the wall. 60 though, Everfields finds one tender. A second snakes this trade back to even footing. Aris, maybe a credit card. Yes, 60 spams as he falls away. Chomp is still here. A very good bait and switch from 60.
Nice from Chop, and Snakes caught off guard, swapping to his knife in lobby. He's evicted from location, and Vendetta take a lead into the second half of overtime. But Stamina can get his op back. It's a little easier to op in the blue. That's one thing that's for certain. You can op a lot easier on the CT side. And he'll have that ability here and now. Snakes. He'll buy an M4 at some point. There it goes. But Vendetta, if they close this out, they need 2 rounds, and they claim victory. They take map 2, go to Inferno. And there's a stat line I've been holding on for if we do go to that third. Stamina, he strikes first, but he only gets 1. There's no support from him for J-Hall. And that's a big issue. That's the B-side open for business. Infinite's way too late, mullied out. There is a player walking up the stairs. Snakes and the Molotov actually will force him into the open. He's going to lose that clean. The Chop bomb's going to go down here. No way to stop the plant.
How far? Strife have fallen. They're really struggling. Try to go for this retake as best they can. 3 versus 4 seems very, very difficult. They're standing around, does damage, doesn't get the kill. Infinite will trade, sure, but there's still 3 remaining. Constantly burning alive, stays alive in the end. Infinite walking through is caught by the player up top. Joel's does trade, but a 1 versus 2 time as it is just doesn't seem feasible. He'll tap away 1, down to nothing, but Chop is the one to find the head instead. 21 to 19. Vendetta, 2 opportunities to send us off to Inferno.
2 opportunities, Strife. They're now down behind the 8 ball. It's their turn to try and close this one out. And can they do it? Got the op and a 30 bomb on Stamina, 29 on Infinite, 25 on Aris and Joel's, 24 on Snakes, 2, 3, 4 30s on Vendetta. Silas the only one without one. Stamina gonna get pressured. First shot connected, dives down below the Molotov. Not gonna try and refight. A good lesson learned from the previous round. Is now Vendetta will just camp and ramp and wait for another opportunity. Infinite up the vents. Holding for an A play. Snakes there as well. Both players watching mini. That needs to be fixed, and it will be. But it seems like now, as it gets later and later into the night, teams are starting to make more and more mistakes. Vendetta being able to exploit a little bit more. We'll see what they're going to be able to do.
He's going to be the player. Aris is here. First at bat. This is important. Still huge. Does find that at least a second, potentially. He's trying to stay alive as long as possible, buying time. No, Chop will take him down, but advantage does maintain, or is maintained by Strife. Plant, uncontested. When you retake from Strife. Constantly at the ramp, spots the player trying to rotate in. A lot of control for the T side. We'll fall back. It's a very solid post plan, all things considered, for this T side. As Strife do begin to congregate in the back halls. Constantly holding the angle. Misses the shot. He has the information. Time over halfway gone. Chop up top of the silo. Plethora of targets. He'll find 1 tag a second. Is shot from behind? No, he stays alive. This is a huge oversight. Player comes out. Joel finally finds the kill, but they bought so much time. Stick is coming through, but Tender finds one. Consti a second. The Stick is coming. It's desperate. It comes through. The defuse. They stay alive. Joel's the hero of the round. Balls of steel, metaphorically speaking, as he sticks the defuse. And Strife now are one away from sending us to a third bout of overtime.
The ninja works for Strife, and Joel's, he stays alive. He holds his nerve. They're one round away from overtime number 3. Ramp has been pressured multiple times in a row by Vendetta, and it's worked. But now they're going the other direction. They're going up towards A. Molly, nade, it's dealt with nicely. Oh my gosh, it's 3 kills for Vendetta. Chop goes for the 4th. It's up to Stamina, 1v3 with an op. Nasty shot on the first, but he's burning alive to 20 HP. Not much of a chance at all in this one. What? How do you get 5 more damage there?
I don't know.
What?
1v2 though. He's an op in hand. Consti's ready for it though. Consti swings. Consti finds the kill. It's 22-20. Boggs. We're going to map 3. Strife lose. What was it? 5 map points? 4 map points?
5.
They set the tone. They set the tone for regulation, right? It was scrappy, scrappy, scrappy. But when the rifles got to come through on the overtimes, they looked so good. They